Jagex keeps fixing Leagues II. Tasks are being changed, requirements are being removed, and more of these regional problems are being patched around. But at what point do these stop being launch bugs and start telling us something about whether region locking actually fits RuneScape 3? This is what I get down to when I say, I felt like this week I was fighting the game. Um, in
The
that
bugs.
in that bugs and, just
What
things
works?
falling into place, actually getting tasks done for free. It's just so hard even for me uh to keep track of in that case. And
Yeah,
and it's like, okay, I get this is our first region locking league, but the bugs that have emerged with this have just been
yeah. For a game mode, for all I said before about all the items of game mode, I think the unifying thing on the game mode, and maybe I'm gonna talk about my ass and like it's good for new players. I think the main thing about the game mode is it everyone can use their game knowledge to complete it. Like it's about you knowing how to do these things efficiently, what you want to do, how they interlock, things like that. Adding in 100, 200 exceptions for the league of, oh, but actually this monster also drops this in leagues and this thing's auto-completed and you can't do this task and yada yada. It destroys that game knowledge knows everything and it's just keeping up with the news and being
yeah.
reactionary.
And there's a tiny bit of precedent for this on the OS League, and I'll just go to the example of this of these Echo boots, and these were an item that came out when Varlamore came out from Soul Heritage, and these are
Okay.
basically one of the best in slot boots in the game. You combine Guardian boots with an Echo Crystal. The Echo Crystal comes from Varlamore, and then the Guardian boots are a set of Bandos
Mortania, right?
boots
Oh no.
provided and upgraded with a
It's Mortania.
black tourmaline
Yeah.
core from the Grotesque Guardians, which is a Mauritania boss. So there you're already at Asgarnia, Mauritania, and
That's required
Varlamore
for the Echo reward.
to
That's
get
insane
to
to
get
me.
the Echo boots if you wanted that. You would need 3 regions. So what they did this time is that if you're fighting Soul in Varlamore, you would just get the Echo boots. You didn't
That makes
need
more sense. Like they should just drop the
Asgarnia or
Echo boots. Yes.
Mauritania.
Agreed. That's a good change.
And that's the precedent that had been set in OSRS. And I feel like, to go back to the Sunshine example, that
Mhm.
having the entire Codex of Sunshine come from Zamorak is stretching that just a little bit.
It's stretched. Yeah, I don't know if that's in the same spirit of the because the thing with the Echo Boots is that is a re I assume this came out the not last league where everyone started in Varlamore, but before that. The Echo Boots are a reason to pick Varlamore. That
Yes.
is a sell.
Yeah.
It had all this other strings attached, but you get rid of those and it just drops the Echo Boots now. The reason to pick Varlamore is to get the Echo Boots. Whereas what we've done is we have removed the reason to pick Kandarin.
Exactly.
They boosted a region, we diminished to homogenize, to make everything samey, to give everyone the slightest little damage buff, which had solves in the blessings slash you don't even need because the blessings
Because
are
that would have
insane.
meant that if
You
you
one
wanted
shot
to
like a
do
Rex Matriarch.
that if you wanted to
One
do
hit.
any real PVM with Sunshine or Death Swiftness, oh, you got to take Kandarin in addition to your 2 other choices, which is going to be Desert. And then what are you taking on top of that? You taking Wilderness or Anachronia or something else? No.
For anyone doing combat, this league, Sunshine Death Swift just don't matter. Like you've
They really don't.
ascended beyond by miles. Uh,
Yeah, I mean
not
the
yeah.
the meta PVM, or maybe not the meta, maybe not for like ultimate meta PVM, but like a severely powerful PVM build in the current leagues only uses the auto attack.
Which you could make then a point that you just run across the top of this blessing list and take
Yeah.
everything
Right.
everything blue.
Yeah, or there's a build somewhere in there which is entirely off poisons and bleeds. Again, Sunshine Death
Mhm.
Swiftness don't apply to those. Like
Yeah,
you
doesn't
didn't need
matter.
it. Yeah.
So
Uh,
so and see that this is all treating a symptom of a larger issue. And I don't know. I don't know if I have the ground to stand on this yet. But I'm going to say that we need a mechanic that's different than region locking for RS3. And we need, dare I say it, maybe even a different temporary game mode. I said it. Because we're trying to copy and paste.
Gone far to widen the system.
We're trying to copy and paste Trailblazer, Trailblazer Reloaded, Raging Echoes, and now Demonic Pacts, and ramming it through the door, attempting to make it fit for RS3.
Are you saying we can't bludgeon the community over the head to like it?
If we just give them the things from Old School, will they like us as much as they like Old School?
So here's the problem with. I think, Shane, you've gone one step back. I want to go 2 steps back. I think the problem.
Well, I wasn't sure if the people were ready for that yet, so that's why.
No, I'm gonna go more insane, and maybe this will. It's gonna go so far. It's gonna circle back to making sense. The wall we're running up against is any friction whatsoever. Throwing any friction in the way is ruining experience for someone. And
what has RS3 been about
what if at the end of the league we just have all the region locked and all the blessings and all the relics? Like, that's where we're shunting ourselves towards, is the just give everything, and then by the way, we're going to reduce the number of tasks it takes to get those things, and by the way, just go start whacking things for 1 million each hit when you log in.
And I mean, from that perspective, maybe it serves its purpose well because it makes people have a fun time with it.
Yeah. Less of a game at that point, but you know.
Right. And see, that's the thing. And what I think it gets down to about why it doesn't work for RS3. It's like you said, Avernick. How did you put it? It's about removing friction in the game, right?
About removing friction, and that's if the only direction we're going is in the removing friction direction. That's the path we're headed down. I like your hopefulness that we could add a different form of friction. We've seen it in Old School. Some they're okay with the region locking friction. They're not okay with the skill locking friction. Even though the skill locking one, I think you could unlock all of them.
Yeah, how do you guys think skill locking would work here? As in, you unlock, you choose a certain batch of skills to start with, and then you unlock more of them as you progress.
I think it'd be more boring. Like, we could try it, but I think it'd be more boring than region locking. I think
it's also worth noting that league was the most panned OSRS league that ever happened.
Absolutely. I think the interesting thing about region locking, and this is going to be maybe very controversial, is that the regions were built without region locking in mind.
Yes.
So the things that are in each one are scattershot and weird and interesting. And if you do by skills, like you're kind of just removing sections of the game without, like, there's probably a skill or two that you remove it and like it's a building block for other skills, but largely less so. Not as much.
Here's the skill interrelation is much less of a thing.
Here's the question I'd ask the league's balancing people for next time. You ready for this? How do you balance the desert? Because as it is right now, Telos, God Wars 2,
it's all the PVM.
KK, Menaphos, there's so much there.
There is.
Yeah.
My thoughts are
Heist.
I mean, I'm sure a lot of people were thinking about these things before we got into it. Like, how are they going to do it? They kind of just did it a very old school way. You could do a point buy system. Like, certain regions are worth more points than others. Like, desert's worth 2/3 your budget. Or you could pick a lot of other regions like Fremnik or whatever that are worth nothing. Or, like, I know that this has been said a lot. I don't want to do echo bosses, but a mechanic that gives each region some extra league attainable thing, like the echo boss rewards. Like, if desert had some whatever reward because it's already loaded, and you give Fremnik some awesome reward for taking it, which I wouldn't do echo bosses because I don't think we're as
because do you really want to fight? Do you really want to have them come up with the Echo Dagonoth Kings for RS3?
No, I think we would do better with something like a masterwork system. I think we do better with grocery lists. So, like, you go to a region, you check off all the grocery lists of the cool things in that region. You get all of, like, a unique thing from this tree or a unique thing from this boss. You put them together, you make your item for the Fremnik region. I think that's going to be a little closer to what we do than what Old School does. I
Yeah,
think
because
we're a little
RS3
more on the
people
scaling side.
love
We love
masterwork
our gross
items,
realism.
right?
Mm.
All the 110 updates, everything everyone loved was making the pickaxe, making the rune essence
Yeah.
pouch, making the that's the shit we like. So just do that one per region and give Fremnik an insane combat thing, and then give Desert like a whatever utility thing. Is like balance them out.
Desert needs a skilling thing because it doesn't really have much skilling
Yeah.
now.
The one thing I want to avoid is don't make every region both a PVM and a skilling region, because then it kind of removes like going certain region paths to be more skilling. Like I think it has to be powerful versus not. Like so one region can double down on combat stuff. Maybe probably not Desert. It's a little too far, but like one of the other Wildy can double down on combat and make it super combat-y. And other skilling with it super double skilling. But like places like Fremnik just need propping up in anyway.
That's a really good idea. That's a really good idea, better than Echo bosses.
We need to prop up regions where I keep regions.
And see, that's the
Yeah.
thing. You need to look at this and realize that you need to do this league in a way that makes sense for RS3. Because I was, as people might recall last year, the biggest supporter and proponent of region locking, because last year's league was just too exhausting for me in terms of the sheer volume of tasks coming into it. This year, it's different. Obviously, it lowers the cognitive load, which I think is great. But it's exposed so many other issues here. So.
And then the layer of region locking just didn't work on the base we had with the development time it got. It needed another month or two of polish.